Hey, so it's me, Play Doctor. I made a video a while ago, funny enough, in the original script. This said a week ago, but due to ongoing assignments, that got pushed back very far. So sorry about that, guys. And here's the first episode about the first season of Fate Zero. I know some people are going to argue Fate Zero is not where you start, as it's a prequel to Fate Stay Night. I'm fairly sure, and a lot of people say Fate Zero spoils parts of Fate Stay Night. But from what I've heard, you can start at Fate Zero. It's totally fine. So I want to talk about the general setup of the show. I really like the idea of a show setting up a very limited main cast of around 14 characters with the 7 masters and 7 servants. There is also other characters they introduced, like a few, like a couple of the servants will masters will have kind of like some other character. Kiritsugo's got 2 actually, with Maya, I think her name is, and his wife. But this limited cast can also be a detriment to the series, as if there's a couple of bad characters, it really drags the whole show down. So if there's like 2 masters I don't like, that can like fuck up the main cast. So yeah, moving on to the characters. First is Kiritsugo, who, as a main character, I really love the idea of someone who is so good and wants the best intentions, ending war, ending suffering, but doesn't care about what happens to the people around him. He like literally tries to kill masters, and he he doesn't just like when Cast is running around killing a bunch of people, he just doesn't care about the innocent children, just wanting to play it out for the long run. But the one thing which grants him is his wife Eisenburn, who's a simple character but teaches him empathy and gives him an attachment, stopping him from ending up like becoming a full-out sociopath with another character. I'm really excited to see where this goes. Now let's talk about Kiri Kotomin. My script says Kiri Kotomin. I can't wait to see how this character goes with his obsession with Kiritsugo and well, not really an obsession, but like he's kind of got this interesting view of the character as being the same as him, because they're both pretty like emotionally detached. At least that's how Kirei views Kiritsugo. But but unlike him, he has no one to really ground him or teach him empathy or any kind of emotion. He also really seems to take an interest in Mato in that one scene. I think it's because Mato is very like to him, Mato is very like unlike him in the way that Mato is he's kind of a man that's gone through so much tragedy, but is only fighting the Holy Grail War for emotional reasons. Um, Another thing I find interesting is they say his wife dies at the very beginning. I don't know if this is something saying that if Kiritsugo's wife dies, she'll end up the same as him. So yeah, I'm just interested in that. Waver. Waver is another character I really like, and how his relationship with Iskander is affecting his own notice and making him into a better person. He has to slowly grow and mature throughout the first season, and it's really like kind of sad and heartbreaking when he has to come to terms with how fucked up the world is when he sees Cast as there. Tokiomi, uninteresting. I said that it can be bad when you got the couple of bad characters. Yeah, Kotomi, sorry, not Kotomi, Tokiomi exemplifies this, putting being a mage in his clan above all less. But the series does clown on him, with even his own Surgeon Gilgamesh making fun of him. I really hope he's not the final villain. If he is the final villain, I'm gonna be so sad. He's so boring. Yeah. But I feel like that's gonna happen because Gilgamesh seems to be the strongest servant. Mato. Not a lot to talk about with Mato, but again, really good character. He has no like really ideals that he's taking this battle into. He just really wants to save a girl, single girl, and it's kind of like nice seeing someone that's not so nuanced and just more simple. And the scene where you see Sakura in the crest rooms, it's just a disgusting scene, and just immediately makes you go, okay, I agree with you, Mato. It seems like they're an anime sometimes comes this weirdly creepily fan servicey, but this one it just perfectly sells how messed up it is. El Melio, really annoying. It's really annoying that 2 out of the 5 masters I don't like. He's really annoying. I really want to see him in Wave for fight and Wave for win. I'm really happy he like gets taken out of the story. Near the end. Okay, then Solo E, not much to talk about with her. Another character I don't like. I think though she does have potential with her love for Lancer, and I'm interested in how this relationship might go between the 2 of them. And I know, I feel like that's going to bring up something in Lancer. Ryunosuke, bro, I love Inisko. Inisko is the bomb. I love him. He's one of my favorite characters, as I've said about so many people on this thing so far. But he's just such a psychotic serial killer. But he's like a total dude, bro. And watching him and Caster's relationship, I really like. As they make, and the scene where he like has that kind of philosophical thing about God, I fucking love that. That was such like good character building for a character like him. When he goes, because Caster's a man of God, and he goes, what if God is just someone that's in shit in life and just likes watching, and I'm gonna put him a show for God. Loved that scene, really great. Now let's move on to the servants. Saber, I came to the show hearing that Saber was really boring, so I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really like her at first, but I reckon I was proven wrong. I just think she contrasts Kiritsugu in this season so well, as she just wants to go back in time, she wants to do all the right actions, whereas Kiritsugu is always the polar opposite. But I don't like the way her chivalry works, like, and how she makes the dumb decisions. I know, I just think it's kind of boring, feeling it's so justice driven, and I hope the show does develop her, but that's something I've heard she doesn't develop much. Assassin, nothing to talk about here, not really a character, more of a weapon. Actually no, I'll say something about Assassin. Assassin does bring up quite an interesting idea, which I think more people need to discuss, which is the idea of if a servant has multiple personalities, those can always summoned individually. I don't know if this is just in the season, but I know in Fate Grand Order, they mentioned that the reason why that version of Assassin manifests that way is because there's so many different personalities for one dude, and they are all summoned at once as different entities. I think that brings up a lot of interesting ideas, and I wonder how that's going to go on in future seasons of Fate. Lancer, I don't like Lancer. I just don't like Lancer. I feel like Lancer is kind of similar to Saber, but with no real contrast. I know I just find Lancer boring. Berserker, yeah, I got spoiled who Berserker is, but I know their obsession with Saber seems cool, and I wonder if that's going to lead to any development. And since they're both knights, I don't know, it'll be interesting. Caster, and the other character I really like is, I can't really explain more, there's a lot of stuff I like about Caster, I also like about Ryunosuke, but they're like bro-like relationship with each other, and how they like, out of all the servants and masters, these two, other than maybe Iskander, actually like care for each other, and like want to like seem to like each other, and they're friends. I don't really like that. It shows that like these horrible people got good qualities. Gilgamesh, yeah, he's my second favorite character in the season. He's so smug on the way of being a king. It's just fascinating. He doesn't, and my favorite thing is that he doesn't want the Holy Grail just for a wish. He just wants to kind of own it because he thinks it should belong to him. Iskander! He is amazing. He's one of my favorite anime characters. His goals and general philosophy is great, and the line where he states to subjugate but not to humiliate is just such a fucking great line. His goal to be reincarnated as a whole new person and try and conquer the world again is so fascinating, because it just shows how committed he is, and it also explains his relationship with Waver, where he kind of sees Waver as kind of a reincarnated version of himself. This man who's got, because Waver, let's be honest, has great potential. And this kind of is kind of fostering that. I really like he's the most stereotypical villain ever. He wants to conquer the world. Like when you hear that, like you think, oh, this is a terrible villain, but he isn't. He's not a bad person, and I don't know, it's cool. The line where he stops viewing Saber, where he like gets angry at Saber for not respecting her actions and the actions of men. I don't know, I just thought it was really cool, and you shouldn't make their accomplishments null. And his noble phantasm is really cool. It works so well with his character. Nuxtaki made a good video about this called Greatest Anime Flexes. I don't know which one, it wasn't specific. But it's one with Iskander in the thumbnail. And yeah, and it's just cool. I really like it. Okay, now let's move on to closing thoughts. I'm incredibly excited to see where the show is going to go here on out. But this is a great start to the Frank franchise for me. I'm hooked. I love Fate Zero. I have very little complaints. The animation is also spectacular. The battles between servants are bombastic. They're throwing out all these crazy things, while the fights between masters are more grounded. But yet, like, their magic allows for some really cool stuff. And the power systems in this anime is amazing at setting up future seasons, with the summoning, you can summon almost an infinite amount of servants from history, from legends, and the magic is it's grounded, but at the same time it allows for a lot of stuff to be done. With like Kutsuga being able to manipulate time. I'm worried about pacing in the second season though, as in the first one only one servant has died, and I reckon the next season, I reckon the very first episode cast will probably die, but still, that is still 5 servants left, and I'm worried about how long this is going to go for, and they've shown that this doesn't even take out the master necessarily, with Kiro still remaining in the story. But yeah, I trust in the second season. I think it will be good. I've heard it gets even better, so yeah, that's the first video on tackling Faye, and I hope you enjoyed.